Today is the 1st of August 2023. Okay, and this will be our 7th lesson in algebra. Thank you to everyone who's been watching our videos. Okay, it's been quite encouraging. If these videos are helping you, please share, like, follow, and subscribe. Okay, to our platform, so that others can also benefit as well. Okay, thank you very much. I usually write follow my notes / script, okay, in the comment section. What I realized, I watched the video after I've uploaded it. No, before I upload and after I've uploaded it. The videos are not edited. I try to create the classroom experience. Okay, so for instance, assuming I'm pointing to this is 2C, and I end up saying 2 or C, please go by 2C. Okay, assuming I'm pointing at this is add, and I say times or any other thing, or minus, it is add. Go by what is on the script. These are my own notes, which I've taken time to retain and go over it. Okay, so we've been doing algebra so far. This is our 7th lesson. I think I want to recap everything we've done so far. We've just scratched on the surface, okay, but I want to introduce another topic whilst I leave you to have time to watch this video and get used to some of the basic algebra principles and rules, and then we'll come back to it after we've learned other stuff. Okay, because there are chances that the things we are going to learn, we are going to use algebra to help us solve it, but at the moment I've introduced you to enough algebra to just allow you to get around it. Okay, so after this lesson we'll come back with a new topic. Okay, so today's lesson is just basically recap on everything we've done so far. Okay, so our first example is add. Okay, these are straightforward things. 2C add 9 is 11C. Okay, so if you have 2 carrots, you add another carrot, 9 carrots is 11 carrots. Now a second example is also add, but here if we scan, we have 2 variables, x and y. So we'll put the x's together and the y's together. So x add 6x will give us 7x. 3y add 5y will give us 8y. We can't introduce any brackets here because there are no common factors. Now example 3 has to do with subtract. So 11q minus 5q is 6q. Okay, so it's like 11 pounds minus 5 pounds is 6 pounds. This is straightforward. Example 4. Now, here we have variables P and R. Okay, and so if we put the P's together, 4P minus 5P will give us 9P minus 3R. We said the sign affects the number is in front of, so we can't ignore the minus. So minus 3R minus 10R is minus 13R. So this is our answer, 9P minus 13R. Here too, we don't have any common factors, so we can't introduce a bracket. The next example is multiply. Okay, so 2A times B times C is 2ABC. There. This is also straightforward. I gave you some rules. Okay, you can go back and watch them. If you've written it on your flashcard, you can go back and have a look over and over again so you become familiar with them. Example 6. It also has to do with multiply. So the x and y. So here we can multiply all together. So 5x times x to the power 4 is x to the power 6. You remember the rule I gave you? Times y. So our answer will be 5x to the power 6y. Or it can write as 5y x to the power 6. Okay, so this will be our answer. Okay, but we can manipulate it into a fraction form. Okay, and use it to solve another equation. So when we start doing another set of algebra, we might do more difficult ones. Okay, this is just to scratch the surface because algebra is a lot. Question 7, divide. So A divided by B here will be A over A divided by 2B. We are here. It will be A divided by 2B. So this can be written as this. Okay. Example 8. X squared divided by y squared. So you can write x squared divided by y squared. Or you can write x squared y minus 2. Okay. Or y minus 2 x squared. I said to you, it doesn't matter whichever variable comes first. Okay, as long as the powers are on the right variables, then that is okay. Example 9. This is expand and simplify. We've looked at a lot of these in all the videos we've put out so far. Okay, so now 2 into bracket x plus 15 plus 5x. Now the 2 affects everything in the bracket. So 2x add 30 plus 5x. So 2x plus 5x will be 7x plus 30. Here also there are no common factors, So this will be our answer. Example 10. This is also an example of expand and simplify, but we have two brackets and we have minus, so we have to be careful. Here we have add. This example minus, so 3 affects everything in this bracket. Minus 2 or times everything in this bracket. Okay, so 3D minus 15, okay, minus 2C, add 8, because minus 2 times minus 4 is 8. Okay, you remember one of the rules I gave you. So now if you scan, we have D and C. So we have 3D minus 2C minus 15 plus 8. 3D minus 2C, okay, because we don't know what D and C are, so we repeat them as they are. Minus 15 add 8 will give us minus 7. Here also we don't have any common factors for the 3 terms, so this will be our final answer. So we've expanded and we've simplified it. So from here we've simplified and come to this one. Okay, our next set of example is still expand and simplify, but I'll introduce you to I'll show you the concept of difference of two squares, which we did some yesterday, so it's also a recap. So example 11, okay, this is not difference of 2 squared, but x plus 3, x plus 3, okay, so the x will multiply everything, 3 will multiply everything in this bracket, so x times x is x squared, x times plus 3 is 3x, plus 3 times x is 3x, plus 3 times plus 3 is plus 9. Okay, so when you simplify again, you have x squared plus 6x plus 9. So this will be our final answer. Yesterday I said this is a quadratic equation, okay, but we will do more of that when we come back to algebra again and I introduce you to graphs, okay, but at the moment I will leave you to go and learn how to solve this. But look at it, x plus 3, x plus 3, and this is our answer. Now e minus 5, e minus 5, so e will multiply everything in this bracket, minus 5 will also multiply everything in this bracket. So e times e is e squared, minus 5, e times minus 5 is minus 5e, minus 5 times e is minus 5e, okay, minus 5 times minus 5 is plus 25. You remember I showed you yesterday, it was a recap, okay. If you don't have it on your flashcard and you are using flashcard, you can add it to it, okay. and learn it, or just watch the video till you are familiar with it. So now we have e squared minus 5e minus 5e is minus 10e plus 25. Here also is a quadratic equation. We can simplify, so this will be our answer. So we've expanded and simplified. Okay, quadratic equations normally have the highest power of 2. So x squared, y squared, b squared minus something variable plus a number. So this is an example of a quadratic equation. That is also an example of a quadratic equation. Example 13. Okay, so now I'm going over the difference of 2 squared. So here we have plus and plus. There we have minus and minus. Now with the plus and plus, look at our answer. With the minus and minus, this is the answer we get. Now here there is one minus and there's one plus. Okay, so this is what difference of 2 squares is about. I mean this difference of 2 squares. So g minus 6, 8 plus 6. Okay, the signs are different. It doesn't matter which one comes first. So g will multiply everything in this bracket. Minus 6 will multiply everything in this bracket. So g times g is g squared. G times add 6 is 6g. Minus 6 times g is minus g. Minus 6 times plus 6 is minus 36. Again, the rule I showed you yesterday. Now g squared plus g minus 6g is 0 minus 36. So here g all squared is g. 6 all squared is 36. So this is the difference of 2 squares. So g squared and 6 squared. So your ability to straight away see this and know that this is the outcome in future is very important. So if you have an example like this, you realize that you can easily break it down to this, substitute it into a complex equation and cancel one of the brackets off. Okay, now let's look at our next example. It's also an example of difference of 2 squared. Minus and minus, 8 and 8. Okay, so 8 squared is 64. So straight away my answer should be h squared minus 64. Okay, but let's do it. H will multiply everything in this bracket. Minus 8 will multiply everything in this bracket. So h times h is h squared. Okay, h times 8 is plus 8h. Minus 8 plus h will be minus 8h. Minus 8 times plus 8 will be minus 64. So h squared plus 8h minus h minus 64. So the 8h minus 8h will cancel out. So we have h minus 64. Now this is also to the power 2. This is also to the power 2. Even though it hasn't got a middle term as this, these are all quadratic equations. Okay? But what I want to show you here is you can move from this step to this step. So looking at this, the square root of 64 is 8. So you should be able to predict that your answer, if you are given this, your answer should be h minus 8 into bracket h plus 8. If you are given this, you should be able to predict that your answer should be h squared minus 64. At least in year 10 or in year 11, or if you're in your final year going to write your exam next year, you should be able to see this and realize that these are differences of 2 squared. So you should be able to jump from this step straight away be here. Our next example is still the same. So 4 times 4 is 16. So minus 16 is different, so it's take away. The answer shouldn't be plus. It's the difference of 2 squared. Difference is like take away. Okay, mathematical symbols. Okay, so j minus 4, j plus 4. This should be our answer. So now we have it here. J times j is j squared. J times minus 4 is minus 4j. Then plus 4 times j is 4j. Plus 4 minus j is minus 16. So j squared minus 4j plus 4j is 0. So minus 16. So straight away, if you see an equation like this, as long as there's a plus and a minus, you should be able to predict that this should be your answer. If you get a different answer, then maybe you did something wrong. Maybe you didn't multiply with looking at the add and the subtract. Okay, that's why I started by showing you here. If you have to add, your answer will be different. But assuming 1 is a minus, then you should get x squared minus 9. Okay, this also is minus and minus. But assuming 1 is a plus, then you should get e squared minus 25. Okay, now, so let's quickly look at what I've written here. So from what we've done so far, I've given you examples of difference of 2 squared. So j squared minus 36, the square root of 36 is 6. Okay, so straight away you should be able to see that j minus 6, x plus 6. If you simplify this, you should come back here. H squared minus 64. So h minus 8, h plus 8. H squared is 64. Another example of difference of 2 squares. J squared minus 16. So j plus 4, j minus 4. It doesn't matter which variable comes first, but you should have a plus and a minus. And the square root of 16 is 4, or 4 squared is 16. So that's why you have j plus 4. So you should be able to see this and quickly have this, or you should be able to see this and forecast your answer as that. X squared minus 25. It doesn't matter which variable they give you. If you do it enough, you should be able to see it. So your answer should be x minus 5, x plus 5, or the other way around. Okay, a squared minus 49. Root of 49 is 7. Okay, so a plus 7, a minus 7. Okay, now the last example we've been doing is introducing bracket, or another term in math is factorize. So they'll give you some of this example and they'll say that factorize. All they are saying is introduce brackets. Okay, we've done it several times. So our last set of examples is 3x plus 3x squared plus 9x. Okay, here 3x is a common factor. So 3x, okay, here we are left with x. Okay, let me write the x the same so that you don't get confused. So 3x times x is 3x squared. Now 3x out of this will give us 3. So that 3 times 3 is 9, then x. So we've introduced a bracket. 3x is a factor, and we've reduced this to this. Okay, let's look at our next example. 2y squared plus y. So here, if you look at it, y is a common factor. Okay, common factors don't have to be always numbers. They can be variables as well. So y into bracket 2y, because if you multiply y by 2y, you get 2y squared. Okay, plus 1, because y times 1 equals y. So we've introduced brackets and we've got this term. So you should be able to expand this and go there, or you should be able to factorize this equation to get this answer. We've done this a lot. Okay. Our last two examples. So ab squared minus bc equals, here and there, b is a common factor, so b, and then we introduce a bracket. If we take b out of this, we are left with ab, so that when we multiply back, we can get ab squared. Now if we take b out of here, there is a minus, so we are left with only c. So if you multiply b times minus c, you get minus bc. Okay, so have a look at it properly. Now 12ky minus 3yc. Here the common factor is 3y. You look at it carefully. 3y here, you can have 3y here. If you divide this by 3y, you are left with 4k. So that when you multiply 4k with 3y, you get 12ky. Okay, now you have 3y here, so you are left with c, so minus c. So if you multiply c with 3y, you get 3yc. So we've introduced brackets here, so you can, if you are given this, you should be able to move in here by expansion. If you are given this type of equation, you should be able to transform it into this one to factorize. Okay, so we've done all this so far in all the videos we've done on algebra, and trust me, we've just scratched the surface. Okay, but I'm going to stop algebra stuff here and introduce you to another topic. Okay, and then we'll come back on a later date to continue. By then, everything I've taught you on algebra, you should get your head around them. You should watch the video enough to familiarize yourself with them, so that when we come back again and I start and I go a bit deeper, we can apply everything we've learned so far to solve more questions. Okay, so thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in the next lesson.